Hi, I'm Steve Dudash at IHT Wealth Management. Welcome to this week's Wealthcast, and that happens to be the first Wealthcast of this year as well. So we're going to talk about some of the tax changes that we talked about last week, and some of the changes of those changes. But first, it's the beginning of the year, so let's do our predictions. I know everyone does predictions. I know most of the time they end up being wrong, but we're going to do some out there that I think will be important to you and tangible. First and foremost, some of the easy stuff. We will not hit 4% GDP growth. All right, I know this tax plan does help corporations a lot, maybe not everyone else, but helps corporations a lot. But that doesn't mean we're not growing our way out of this. You're not hitting year over year 4% GDP growth. Maybe we hit it for a quarter, but how the economics of the world work, if we start hitting that, costs go up, which brings it back down. There's no way we're going to see it year over year. We're just too big at this point for that to happen. So keep that in mind. Two, we're going to see some rate hikes. Probably three. I'll say three. 3 rate hikes, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, it's bad for us who have debt, but getting our interest rates back to normalcy, starting to get more balance to where we've been for the long time, it's not a bad thing. So you'll see 3 rate hikes, no big deal. You will, though, see a 10% correction or a double-digit correction at some point this year. Markets cannot go over and over and over again up every single month. It's not real. It's been 9 years. It's not realistic. It cannot continue like this. I'm not saying we're going to end the year down double digits, but I'm saying at some point this year you will see a double digit pullback. It is normal. It is not a bad thing when that happens, but it's going to happen. So just be mentally prepared for when that happens. Gold. I've been on the record a bunch of times saying gold is the worst long-term investment you can hold in your portfolio. I've been on TV saying, in fact, I was on TV, 16 months ago, saying gold is the single worst investment on the planet right now. Since that time, the U.S. stock market has outperformed gold by 25% in 16 months or something like that. I stand by my decision until they start actually using gold for something other than just jewelry, in tangible amounts. The math doesn't make sense where it's at. It's the worst investment you can own. Bitcoin might end up taking that mantle from them, but we'll see. That's a different conversation, different day. And then finally, international markets. The international market will outperform the U.S. market this year. I'm not saying take your whole portfolio and put it in international, but for you people that have been overweighting U.S., and this is normal. This is what happens now when the U.S. market goes well. Then everyone starts loading into it. That's usually the time you need to be looking at outside pieces. International markets, the economics of where they're at right now, specifically in Europe, are just primed for bigger returns. Don't forget about that in your portfolio. And then finally, touching on some of the tax changes here. I know we were telling people prepay your real estate taxes, or at least look at it. Now the IRS is coming out and saying some of those people who prepaid it may not be able to actually deduct it, so make sure you keep that in mind. It's kind of a big little story that no one's really talking about that the IRS just came out with. So talk to your CPAs about that. HELOCs don't look like they're going to be tax deductible anymore, so if you have those out there, this might be the time where you're going to want to refinance or at least look at that. And then finally, for the few people that were doing the Roth recharacterization game, that door has been shut. So talk to your CPAs about those things, but just wanted you to be aware of it because those are the things that are going to affect some of you watching this video. Besides that, I hope you have a nice weekend. Email us, call us, Twitter at IHT Wealth if you ever have any questions, and I'll see you next week. Have a nice weekend. Bye.